So the way Ellanse works, the gel itself is called carboxymethyl cellulose. And in the middle, you have particles. Those particles, exactly, are called polycaprolactone. Now, when you fill in the material itself, the carboxymethyl cellulose is no stranger for the medical field. It started in wound dressings and especially in burn dressings. When we lose skin, we need, the dressing has to have something to stimulate collagen and stimulate soft tissue. So that's what carboxymethyl cellulose do. So as it starts dissolving, you have the particles being held together by collagen fibers, and that's how it works. Okay, that's how pretty much Ellanse works. So it's not a permanent filler. It's not a semi-permanent filler. It's a filler that dissolves completely but leaves behind it normal tissue. So if I am to ultrasound a patient after 18 months, the patient will have 0 foreign bodies in it.
But more collagen.
But it will have normal tissue, right? So when you inject it, yeah, exactly. So when you inject it, the patient doesn't go back to the benchmark she was on to start off with. She doesn't go to 0. She goes to improvement. Now, however, there is something that I always hear with Ellanse. The normal complication that I hear is nodules. Okay, but I like the Ferrari example. If you go on a Ferrari and crash into the wall, it's not because the Ferrari is a bad car. It's because you drove it the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
Ellanse is a Ferrari. Treat it the right way, you're going to have beautiful results. Start acting like a cowboy. Treat it or drive it like any other car, like any other filler. That's when you're going to end up with the complications. And the rule is very, very simple. It's called 0.2. Don't give more than 0.2 in each area, and you'll have whatever, and the results are going to be amazing. Different injectors use it, talk about different techniques. 0.2 as a bolus. If you're doing a length, if you're doing a tunnel, each 1 centimeter of the tunnel should have 0.1. As simple as that. That's it. Exactly.
And what are the no-go areas for Ellanse?
Okay, the no-go areas, because the way Ellanse works, exactly, because of the way Ellanse works, you're very brave, because Ellanse doesn't have an antidote to it. Once you fill it, that's there. So the fact that you need to place it in areas, one, God forbid anything goes wrong, you don't have an antidote. Two, in certain areas where it's very sensitive how you want to do it, the results are very sensitive. For example, the tear trough where it's very thin, the nose where every little mill makes a difference, lips, for example, where every little tiny little bit does make a difference. We don't inject it, because I'm not saying the results are unpredictable, but sometimes the results could impress you more than what you want. So if it, if I fill a cheek, okay, and the cheek, if I'm thinking this is going to be this is going to give me 0.5 volume, and I get 0.6, it's not the end of the world, is it? But if I inject the tear trough, and I want 0.1, and gives me 0.2, that's a problem. Okay? So that's why we're in certain areas where it's sensitive, we don't do it. Okay? Right. Crack on, who wants to play with it?
This is not the right patient for Ellanse.
I think her face
is already bloated.
It's very bloated. So that's why, for example, when I looked at her face, I would place maybe 0.2 only here. 0.2 only here. Ellanse in general, I like using it for people who has lost a lot of weight.
Yes, exactly.
Lost a lot of volume. Where I want that, athletic faces. People who had a gastric band, for example, and lost 10 kilograms. Overly weighted people with
lost weight
with poor skin quality, because I want the collagen stimulation. I want that improvement to happen, right? And here's the beauty of Ellanse. When we place, do we have any syringe that we did filler for that we have still left in? No, a filler syringe.
Filler syringe.
That we still have it.
Is it not available with this Ellanse?
No,
it is available.
No. He wants he wants to show you the HA filler.
You know, a needle that we use.
Injection,
Perfect, exactly, right, okay. So here's another thing, right? Ellanse has been on the market, over 1 million syringes have been sold. How many of the 1 million do you reckon has been reported intravascular necrosis? Because Ellanse doesn't, we can't aspirate.
Yes.
Take a wild guess.
0.
1 in 1 million. Right, good.
Everyone was a
I'll tell you
fantastic
why.
injector.
Not all
What
about
was the
that.
reason?
Particles are always going to stay, right? However, if I'm going to place give me your hand. If I'm going to place 0.3 here and 0.4, 0.5, let's say, look how awesome this is. Right? First of all, it's quite nicely stays where I want it to stay. 2,
Very free.
it's very creamy, and the more I rub it, I'm not saying go into a vessel and inject 0.5. What I'm saying is,
Okay.
it's a good.
No particles, yes, it's all inside.
It's a good. Who wants to try it? There you go.
Okay.
Everybody's trying like a cream. Moisturizer.
Yeah, the moisturizer.
Who wants to inject Ellanse? No, don't be shy. Let's give another box. We wasted one syringe.
Who doesn't use Ellanse?
Huh?
I have it.
You haven't used it? So you haven't used it? You have? Okay. So you should try it.
So, but remember, whatever you do, do not give more than 0.2.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the only thing is. Yeah, you could buy it and
like
just
it.
spray it in the patient's face.
Careful.
So where are you going to inject?
I was planning to go
Nasolabial.
to the
Yeah.
nasolabial in the bolus.
Go for it. Yeah, 0.2. And Ellanse comes in 3 different sizes. Do you have the 3 here?
ये कौन सा?
Only S.
This
S.
is
Then only S you have. S stays
S
for a
is for
year.
1 year. Yes.
A bit
S
more.
for 2.
A bit more.
A bit more.
A year and a half.
18 months.
A year and a half, I said.
18 months.
A year and a half is 18 months.
But you know, saying 18 months.
She has to know. She has to top everything I say.
LNM are not available here.
What?
LNM are not available.
Not yet.
L.
Because there is no demand.
There's only now
I
S and
always
M.
use M. I use M.
You put it on the bone in the pyrofoam fossa or just
You can place it on the bone. You can place it on
बहुत
the
pressure लगाया है।
कितना लगा है?
0.1 लेकिन इतना pressure था मैंने
लेकिन ठीक है, देखो वो सही
नहीं
लग रहा है।
इतना भी प्रेशर नहीं लगता वो एयर निकाली
हाँ निकाली थी
ठीक
उस
लग
साइड पे लगा
हाँ,
दिया
बस
हाँ,
इतने
लगता है
काफी है,
ये
इसको
काफी
क्योंकि
है
इसको इतना
बंद।
ज़्यादा नहीं चाहिए।
तुमशी थले.
पहले भी लगे हुए हैं
हाँ,
पहले भी लगे हुए
हाँ,
हैं
इसको लगा रहे हैं।
बस लगे हुए
सुबह
हैं।
नहीं लगे
नहीं वो नहीं लगे
अच्छा,
अच्छा सब आगे और मत लगवाना प्लीज क्योंकि तुम्हें इतनी जरूरत नहीं है जितना तुम्हें
What do you think of Marianne's face?
Exactly.
I'm so sorry.
You want to ask about what?
Glowing, I would call it. Marianne had Ellanse 14 months ago.
Ellanse is a very good.
I think,
बहुत ही कैसे
yeah, I think to understand it, you have to try it on yourself, honestly.
1 ml is a point.
I
What
got
effect it has because of the collagen type 1 stimulation
हाँ जी इसी तरह से जाएंगे
makes your skin glow.
थोड़ा सा
ऐसे जाके सीधा
But the same, the contraindication for it is like any other, like the fillers. For someone, if someone's pregnant, breastfeeding, you should not be placing Ellanse. Just like
just like other Botox.